Hello, you crazy people that's smart enough to follow Dani's cool channel. I made a cool movie called We Hunt Giants, and it's about dinosaurs versus cavemen. What's not to like? Check it out. It's free on YouTube.
I read the synopsis. I have watched it as well. I read the synopsis, and there are witch doctors mentioned in there. Are we going to
Mhm.
see any fantasy in the movie at all?
Oh yeah. Of course, of course. This is like a mix of everything I loved from the second Indiana Jones movie where they have this witch cult and witch tribe where they do all crazy things to in praise of the gods that they believe in. And yeah, and the tribe that we follow is they're much more in tune with nature and stuff, and that comes a little bit from I lived with a Native American tribe for a while, like in the Colombian mountains. We made a movie there, so we were like one of the first to get invited into their unspoiled village and live with them, called the Kugi tribe, and they just believed in nature, and so we got to live in their village and speak with a shaman and about how he speaks to nature and all that. So it's taken a little bit from what I experienced there, and yeah, tribes are cool.
That is phenomenal. That's like a once in a lifetime kind of experience. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, I do that. I tend to go around the world and trying to find new places and new angles and trying to learn from people that's not like me. And hope, thankfully, there's not a lot of people that are like me because I don't think the world could handle too many Titus Pars. So I like to explore and learn from different races and places and people.
I don't think many people are like you in many different respects, but also the fact that you love to soak in other cultures. I think that's really beautiful. I like that.
Yeah, because that helps me in my job and me as a person to just develop and find new ways. But also when I mean, I don't like to hang out with people that's like me because then I don't learn anything. I want to hang out with people that are different to me,
Yeah.
and because that might end up in a movie somewhere. Because I mean, I try to gather skills and stuff because that usually because I write all my own scripts, so that finds its way into the stories and the characters because they're you want to have a broad library and you want to sort of know what they're talking about. So if you have special expertise and stuff, I try to learn about that so I can use that for something in the future.
That's really
That's
cool. You
cool.
mentioned you write your own scripts. Did you write the script for We Hunt Giants?
Oh yeah, I've written everything that I ever done, and We Hunt Giants is a franchise coming, and that's a trilogy, and it's a video game and everything. So this is just a small little taste of what's to come.
The beginning. Wow.
Beginning, yes. So this is I sold my house to do this, to fund it. So I fund everything myself. So I sold my house and produced it myself because there's no money in these shorts, but it's more to capture the fans. So
Yeah.
hopefully I capture some fans today because I sold my fucking house. So go and watch the movie and like it.
I
No,
love
but I
that.
mean, I could have sold it and stuff, but I'd rather give it away for free because I'll make my money on the features and stuff. So it's more of seeing, do the fans like this? Is there like a need for sequels, and does this franchise work? And we've been rained with offers since we released it a few weeks ago. So we're going ahead and doing the feature next year. So it's gonna be cool.
Incredible. That's fantastic news. I'm glad to hear that. That's really cool. And obviously, the location, where was We Hunt Giants filmed? That it's so beautiful, the snow and
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with me, man. This is the fifth movie I'm doing in snow, and there's a reason why people don't do that. Apart from me, because they're smarter probably. But I like the challenge. But it's shot in the wilderness outside of Sweden, and during a snowstorm, so you could barely get there. And all these actors were dressed in these moose outfits because I have this Viking costume designer that's he always it's always entertaining when he calls me like, "Hey Titus, I got some mooses here. Can I buy them and skin them and make clothes?" Like, yeah, sure. How much is a moose? and all that. So they were freezing their asses off, obviously, and falling around in the snow and trying to get gear to work in this much snow, and you're falling around and the things break. And we couldn't even get to the location on the first day because it's in the natural reserve. So the roads aren't that good, and we have these huge like equipment trucks and stuff. So the first one got stuck and like was sliding down a hill. But thankfully, I cast the world's strongest man, Magnus Samuelsson, in the role. So he pushes trucks up hills for a living. So yeah, so he helps. So we all pushed that truck up the hill, and we started shooting an hour later.
Now the VFX looks incredible, if I do say so, and we have Andreas Feeks to thank for that, and he's done some amazing blockbusters: Mission Impossible, Jurassic Park, James Bond. How did you manage to get him on board?
Ah, the Swedish charm. No, well, he done some small movies like that before he got the chance to work on my little film. Yeah. Obviously kidding. No, he was the reason why I wanted to do it, because Jurassic Park was still is my favorite movie, like especially my favorite cinematic experience when I watched it as a boy in the theaters. That just blew my mind away, and getting a chance to work with that company and that level of people, like I'm getting Jurassic World dinosaurs in my movie. I spent all my money on travel and making movies because that's what I'm born to do, So I fund everything myself, and we just do it. And he was amazing. He spent over a year on this, like after hours. After he did like Bond and Mission Impossible and Ant-Man and those movies, he came home and he did a few hours of mine. And he's one of the producers on the film, and he's my favorite on the planet right now. That's what I love to do, building the worlds and giving the audience something they haven't seen before and all that. So it's so many reasons why I wanted to do this, but the main reason is to have a fucking Jurassic World dinosaur eating some cave.
You directed The Perfect Weapon with Steven Seagal. What was it like working with him?
Steven Seagal is fucking nuts, exactly like you would expect. And that movie was a complete nightmare to do because I got offered it because I did like a Game of Thrones kind of movie called Legend of Dark Rider before Game of Thrones, and John Carpenter praised it, so I got a little name in Hollywood that way. Ka-ching, on my boyhood dream again, one of my heroes praising me. Done, yes. So they contacted me like, do you want to do Steven Seagal's first sci-fi movie? I was like, that was not expecting that, no. Why not? When something is crazy enough, I can't say no. I can't say no to it. He was a nightmare, but he's entertaining. I love that he's different and crazy and like a Bond villain, because I like people that are different, And sometimes I had to worship him like an emperor on my knees, and so many crazy stories about that man. But the movie went #1 on Netflix in the US, and it came out worldwide with Sony, and made a lot of people a lot of money. So it helped me being able to do all these kind of things. And the movie's like a homage to the 80s and 90s, because when I got it, it was like an action movie. I was like, this will never work with the Seagal as the future dictator. It's a serious movie. I gotta cheesen it up a little bit. So yeah, it was an experience, and just hanging out with Steven Seagal is nuts. Like we're sitting and eating, and he's like, afterwards he picks up a jar of something, like, wait, what are you eating, Steven? I'm like, well, it's crushed sea turtle shells. They keep me cold. It's that's all those jams, and then he's completely insane, and just wants young women, basically. That's why he makes these movies. So yeah. In his mind, he's like, yeah, they make me look like this this macho man. I was like, yeah, that's great. I'm gonna work around that in the story and say that she's been kidnapped. He didn't know that, and it's Stockholm syndrome, and he has this young woman, and I'm just putting some horror violence over it, and yeah, then he'll make an even better villain because he didn't even know that he was the villain in my film.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, no, Titus, I don't want to be a villain. I'm a hero. I was like, yeah, of course you are. You're not the villain, you know. Yeah, you're like the good guy, but they think you're the villain. It's like a spy game. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, maybe it works if I can have a young naked girl in the film. I'm like, okay, great idea. Well, let's do it.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. So yeah, it's those kind of things, but you know, it made his character better, even though he didn't realize it. So I don't know how I got him to do all these crazy things, because at the end, it's like a Seagal clone killing Seagal. Like, so he kills himself, and I was like pumped him up to like this was this greatest like samurai moment. So he was super serious about it, and he's like talking to his dying self and like, hey brother, you sacrificed my life for me. That movie or that scene is it belongs in cinema history because it's so over the top. And if you don't know by that point that I'm not serious about this film, you should get your head checked, because yeah, it's hilarious.
What is your favorite part about directing?
My favorite part of directing, you know, to begin with, I write everything I do, so my job starts there when I'm writing, because I have a very like I see everything I write and see everything as finished edited movies. I don't know, it's something wrong with me, but it works. So my job is to take the script that I saw in my head, the movie I see in my head, and I try to make the people that working with me understand what I see and try to get them to do that movie, because that movie is awesome. And then I try not to fuck that up, basically. I was directing when I was like 5, my kids in school, like, hey, then this gonna happen. Oh, can you see the soldiers over there? And so I was a director from as soon as I could talk, basically. So
what is it that inspires you and your work? Is there something in particular?
I always go at it from the fan angle, like, because I love movies and I love watching movies. So I make the movies that I want to see that doesn't exist. Simple as that. I mean, sometimes I spend like 10 years developing a film, creating the worlds, languages, and like, how does it look? How does it feel? And I try to take something familiar, like with We Hunt Giants, for example. Then it's Jurassic Park, obviously, but also the creature films like the Jaws and all that, but mix it with something they haven't seen before. So that's what I do always. So this is some Scandinavian like darkness and all that. It needs to have some depth, it needs to have some heart, and it needs to be a spin with me attached to something that's classic, basically. So that's my style, basically.
That's cool. I think keep doing more of that. Keep making movies that don't exist, because I'll watch them.
And you win stuff like this.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. What is that?
No. You know, you tend to win some awards sometimes. This is just a golden cock. I don't know what that's doing here.
That just popped up.
Yeah. Keeps happening to me. I don't know why.
You've just been given the green light to direct your dream movie. What's the genre?
Adventure.
Where's the location?
Australia, obviously. Come on, Australia, man. Sydney.
Who is your main character? Who would you cast?
Oh, I've been dying to work with the Schnitzel, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, you and I, we share some Austrian in us, so I want to work with the big guy sometime in my life, because every time I hear the word Arnold, I get tingles. So I need him. I need you, Arnold, if you're watching this, which you should, because she's fucking awesome. Let's do it. Let's do it, baby.
Who would you cast as the main character's love interest?
Love interest. Why not Sigourney Weaver? She's awesome too.
Who would you cast as the villain?
The villain, my friend and buddy, Vernon Wells.
Ooh.
From Mad Max and Commando. We love each other, and I want to see him with Arnold again.
And what would be a quick rundown of the plot with everything in mind that we've just said?
Oh yeah. Well, Sigourney and Arnold are stranded in Australia, and from outer space is turned into a sci-fi movie. All of a sudden, this general from the intergalactic place Gold Kakia comes in, and it's Vernon Wells, and he Arnold at the end. Yeah, that wasn't my best pitch ever.
It was funny though. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking time out to talk to me today and to tell me about We Hunt Giants and a little bit about yourself and what passions and what drives you. So yeah, I just want to say thank you so much.
This was fun, huh? This was fun. I had fun. I had a good time, and you did great.
Thank you.
I love your channel, and thanks for having me. It's a cool channel, and I like it. So I'm proud to be there. Happy to follow Slash into anything.
I love supporting film mostly because I know how much work and effort goes into it. You know, you sold your house, man. Like that is a lot of passion that goes into it, and I feel like people should support it. Why not? Like it doesn't take much out of your time or day to support something that somebody else is passionate about. You don't have to completely love it, but it's not hard to just show a bit of support. So I guess it's a big passion of mine because I love film. I get immersed in it. It transports me to a whole different world. I love a whole variety of genres. You know, I love my horror, obviously thriller, and I do love action. And, you know, obviously superhero action is one of my favorites as well.
Well, you're a fucking rock star as well. So.
Thank you. I like to have fun. That's what life's about. Life is so short. So have fun, enjoy it, laugh.
Yeah. And don't take yourself too seriously, but what you do seriously.
Exactly right.